Welcome back to Dudes on Dudes Fighting. I am RJ, and this is my co-host Stu.
What up, listeners? How's it going? I
Stu,
see I see that we've gone down in listenership. We had like two shows in a row where we had 85 views.
yeah,
We're sinking. We're sinking. We got to bring you guys some fucking heat this week.
I'm not going to take any blame for that. I think that's just due to like oversaturation of UFCs. Like, there's just so many. How can anyone stay up to it?
Yeah, for sure. We I
This
think
is quality
with this
content.
episode we'll bring some heat, bitches.
How exciting was UFC? I don't even know what friggin' number we're at. 231.
Dude, fucking incredible from start to finish.
Start to finish.
I watched the whole undercard and I was like whatever, like pretty whatever fights. My girl Claudia Gadelia, which she's like my favorite female fighter, just could not get anything going, and I was pretty bummed about that, but still looked good doing it. So shout out to Claudia.
Claudia.
Claudia. Looking fine, girl. Looking fine. And rumor has it that her and Brian Ortega bang on the low, which is pretty
No.
sweet. Well,
Ortega?
okay. So according to the internet, a couple UFC fights ago, she posted something on his picture like, Brian Ortega, will you have my babies? And then the next day, she posted, there was a picture of her wearing the same clothes from the night before, and apparently they met up, and he posted on her picture, you look tired. So they might have been up all night
Yeah,
fucking.
that's a good giveaway. Good
And I
sleuthing.
like,
Good sleuthing.
yeah, I like to believe the internet
I'm a
sometimes,
big
man.
fan of believing the internet.
Like, we believed Fox and CNN all those years, and they proved to not be right. So why go against what the rest of the internet has to say?
I'm a big fan of those like cheeky comments on like Instagram too. Like I'm notorious for that. When you have
Oh,
like
dude.
you have a little action with somebody a little bit more than friends, and you write like the little inside joke that most people would never get, but like between the two
Yeah.
of you, you both know what that means.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like searching through the comments sometimes too. I'm not a commenter either.
Mm.
I think the lowest possible people are the people who just like go on YouTube and like, if you're watching a skateboard video or something and just like say really mean shit for no reason. Like it's like those are just like, I don't know who they are, but like they do it very often. But also, I really respect it when it's on our videos. So
Oh,
if
I
you want
love it.
to plug, call us a homos
No one's
again
called
or
us a homo
whatever,
in a while. And on
uh,
unrelated but totally
shout us.
related nude, I just went on the Nine Club Instagram and they showed a video of um, the guest today, Ryan Gallant, doing the kickflip backside nose blunt down clipper.
Oh my God, the
And
cover of Trans World.
I commented it looked a bit over crookish.
Oh shit! That's
Sorry.
so awesome.
Sorry, looked a little over
You
crookish. I don't
you
know.
are that guy.
I don't know if those wheels got over, Ryan. I need a close up. It
It's
looks a,
such a good photo too.
it's fucking sick, but the photo, yeah, it doesn't show the wheels over. It looked a little over crookish.
All right, so definitely, it was. This is a great photo. I love that you you're that dude on.
I'm not fucking guy. Looked
So
over
let's
crookish,
start
man.
off with the fucking Manuwa versus Santos. What a fucking fight, man.
Like, how
There
was
was
either
so
of those
much
guys
blood.
alive? Every
Oh, I don't
shot was
know.
so loud. It sounded like swinging a baseball bat onto like a heavy bag or something. Just thudding and disgusting to watch that fight. Like, oh my god, the damage.
I when they walked out, I was like, "Holy fuck, these guys are big!" And then
Yeah.
like it just fucking went off, just totally from start to finish, just like an amazing fight, blood everywhere, and
Oh
then
my
like
god.
that knockout was so fucking vicious too. Like it was just like, that was like he knew he was out too, eh? Like
Oh yeah, he he
he didn't.
didn't nothing. No, no, no.
That was like a classy, like he's out, I'm not gonna hit him again type thing, right?
Yeah.
Am I thinking?
No, that's the
I'm
fight.
thinking about,
Yeah. He fell down to
yeah.
his knees and Santos looked at him, like cocked it, and then just like looked for the ref, and the ref stepped in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was such a performance of the night, which fucking totally deserving because, I mean, you don't get much better of a win than that.
Yeah.
You completely annihilate him, and I think that's it's fucking great for that division too because there's really not that much going on in that
It's
division,
been a
you
sad
know?
division. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jones cleaned it out, and then with all his like bullshit, like alleged charges, like no one's really like jumped to the top again.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think everybody on that division is just like, well, Jones does steroids, so do I.
So do
Look at
I.
these guys, man. If you're looking at
They're
the pictures of these,
huge. Yeah.
they are on something.
Yeah.
Or just hard workers, but I mean,
Maybe
I
they
like
work
to
real
think.
hard. Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe.
And I think like going into this fight, like Jimmy Manuwa is he's one of the bigger names, like considering the call out with DC and
Yeah.
everything. And so I think a lot of people were thinking that old Jimmy boy was going to take it, but fucking Santos just walked right through him.
Yeah. He looked fucking good. They both look great though.
No,
Like
they did. They
that's not a
did. Yeah.
fight that Jimmy goes down like a billion miles. Like he got knocked out in the second
Mhm.
round, but it's not like devastating. It was like they could have gone either way. Dana White said in the post-fight conference that that was fight of the night until the main event happened. Like it was
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, and they could like if that ever got ran back, like that's a headlining card on like a fight night or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Just because like you could just show so many highlights from the 2 rounds that happened. So fucking great fight, great way to start off the main
Oh
card,
man.
man.
And that
Be-
a little bit biased, but that Toronto crowd was alive.
Dude, there's no louder crowds than Toronto and
No.
Brazil. There just isn't.
No.
Like and I love how Dana always reps Toronto. Like made sure that he brought the Maymac thing to
Yeah.
Toronto and the build up and everything, and like that was outside in the rain and it was full
It
at
was
the
full and
amphitheater.
so loud and awesome. During
And
this fight,
Drake was there.
yeah, Drake was always there. He's always hanging on to other celebrity coattails.
Yeah,
But like
I
during
don't think
this
he knew.
Manuwa Santos fight, at one point Joe Rogan took his headphones off and was just like, "Can you hear this crowd? Like they're just
Yeah,
thunderous the whole way through."
yeah, and not even just in the main event. Like it
No,
was
this is the first
fully like
fight. Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
the best part is like everybody saying that Toronto's like an educated crowd too. Like they weren't booing over like takedowns and stuff. Like some places you go and it's just like there's like really good shit going down on the ground and people are booing it. It's like what do
Yeah,
you
no.
guys like if you went out of your way to buy tickets, like you should know that like this guy's doing a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
awesome shit on the ground too. Anyways, that was one hell of a fight, and I could watch it over and over and
yeah.
over again.
Speaking to the educated crowd, there's one point when Manawa grabbed Santos in a clinch, and the crowd like is just starting chanting knees, knees, knees. Like that's so cool. Like they just
Yeah,
fucking
they're
know
just
it's
like,
coming.
yeah, that like tie clinch style,
Yeah,
like knee to the body shit is so fun to watch. Like you can only imagine how fucking badly that hurts your ribs and your fucking guts and everything after. So yeah, that was a great fight and a great way to start off the card. They really fucking nailed it with that one. Move on to probably the most lackluster fight on the main card.
But that's because every fight was so sick.
I'm not taking anything away from it. Our boy Hakeem, the fucking Canadian, he just has the weirdest angry look on his face at all times.
Yeah.
Like when he was walking out for weigh-ins, I was just like, what's he so pissed about? The crowd's behind him. He's like, he's Canadian. Like,
he's from Edmonton, though. Like, that's not a cheer's place.
Yeah, man. I've had friends who like have moved to Edmonton and came back and bragged about how cool it was, and it's just like, I'm like, no, you're probably wrong.
Yeah. You just don't want to admit you wasted 6 months of your life.
Yeah, for sure. And they're like, I don't know. Fuck Edmonton.
Yeah, fuck Edmonton.
If you're coming to the best country in the world, you gotta go Toronto. Let's get serious.
Montreal's a good time, but like Montreal Edmonton is not in the top 5.
If there wasn't that whole French thing out there, it would be so sick. Fucking can't get a job out in Montreal. Gotta speak français.
En français.
So anything specific you want to say about this fight? I mean, it was a good,
like you said, it was good, but it was pretty lackluster. Hakeem, the mean dream Daewadu picked up the decision.
Yeah,
overwhelming decision. Like he just, yeah.
I can't mention nicknames because of the fucking UFC website because they don't post them afterwards. It's fucking idiots. All right, well, yeah, that was a great fight. Like I said, like lackluster fight on the main card, but that's only because it's only lackluster because everything else was a complete fucking shit show of a good fight, you know?
Do you think that Cowboy Oliveira and Gunnar Nelson was the bloodiest fight you'd ever seen?
Yes. Okay, yeah, that was the real... Okay, fuck, I had them mixed up for a second. Oliveira, like, near the end of that fight, was just losing pints of blood. And right before that, Nelson was losing almost as much blood. I really thought Oliveira was going to take this one going into the fight. For some reason, he's just looked good in his last few fights and looked confident. But I mean, Gunnar Nelson just doesn't have that personality. He's just like so calm and like he's just like, I'm going to fight. I am Gunnar Nelson.
He's from like Scandinavian countries though, where that kind of attitude is like though. Like just no emotion, robot man.
Yeah, but he trains with Connor, or he trains at SPG.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, and Connor's coach was in his corner for it, so that was a fucking sick fight too. Holy
shit! Seeing that fight, man. Like I was thinking about, like in Connor's camp, like Dylan Dennis gets all the attention for grappling, but it's like Gunnar Nelson was fucking sick. How come none of Dylan Dennis's skills have rubbed off on Connor the way like or Gunnar Nelson has it? Like Oliveira is a fucking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he just went to school.
I don't think that. I think Dylan Dennis is like way overhyped because he can talk some shit and stuff. Yeah. But like he does just copy shit that Connor says. Like it's like. He pretty much like writes notes of what Connor says, and then like says the exact same thing, but they don't sound as good because he doesn't have a sweet Irish accent.
No,
I'm still a fan.
He's okay. He can take a drop kick.
Yeah, a flying monkey drop kick, just fucking. Hey, chimpanzee.
He took it. He took the Russian drop kick.
Andy was trying to get in there and throw bombs, which, I mean, whatever. It is what it is, but As the champ says, Max Holloway, it is what it
It
is.
is what it is.
Fucking love that guy, man. But we'll get to that in
We'll
a
get
second.
there.
Gunnar Nelson looked great. I can't wait for his next fight. I'm glad to see him back. I feel like Gunnar Nelson is a pretty popular fighter considering he doesn't say much and whatnot, but like I was texting people before the fight and they were like, "Oh, Gunner's back" and shit. And I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome!" Like people are like real Gunnar Nelson fans,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
has one of the coolest names.
Yeah, yeah. It's a great name.
Shout out Gunnar Nelson!
Gunner.
Fucking can't wait to see him back in there. And I think Alex Oliveira's like always he's kind of like a Michael Johnson. Like he's always
Mm.
gonna be fighting like higher level guys, but he just like doesn't have it all to take it to the top. Like if you look at Michael Johnson, he's fought all the guys who have won the championship, and those are the only guys that he really loses to, you know?
But Oliveira was
And
looking fucking good until the end
yeah.
there. Like
Yeah, and yeah.
it's not like he got, whatever. It was like a close fight and then Gunner won. It was like Oliveira
Mm,
was running away with it. It looked like he was going to take
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, during the fight, I thought it was for sure gonna go to him. I thought before the fight, dude, and he's fun to watch. Like, if that guy could speak English, he'd be a huge star.
Yeah.
Cause he walks into the ring singing and dancing with his cowboy hat on and shit. Like he's just like when they do like the pat down and stuff to make sure you don't have a sweet gun in your shorts or anything. Like he just couldn't stop dancing while they're like putting the fucking Vaseline under his eyes and everything. If that's what it is they put on there.
Yeah, he's fucking sick. I like him.
I can't wait to see both of those guys fight. I think this card really did a lot for like showing off those first three fighters too, especially because it actually the card did really well too, considering there wasn't like a DC or a Conor
Right.
McGregor. But I think Max Holloway should be mentioned with those guys now.
He's
He's
up there,
fucking got
man.
a great personality. Everybody loves Brian Ortega too. So like it was a really good card for Toronto, and I think they can bring these cards with Toronto and like not have John Jones or something on there, and it still is going to be a sold out arena because Toronto's a hub of MMA.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Um,
But like
would you? Yeah,
I was
sorry,
I
go
was
on.
going to say like as far as like bringing up the new stars like you're saying in the first three fights, like I also feel that way with Valentina Shevchenko. Like this was her
Yeah.
big crowning moment on a big stage.
I saw her winning a title like for a while. You got to think about the people that she's beat. She's beaten Holly Holm. She's beaten the top of that 135-pound
She beat
division.
Nunes.
She lost in split decision.
Really? I thought she submitted her. What am I
No,
thinking of?
she
Okay.
she no, yeah, you're thinking of I think no, because did they fight twice or just once?
I don't know. For some reason,
But
I
I
have an image of
No,
Nunez losing.
it was a really close fight for the belt, and she was fighting way underweight at 135. Like
Yeah.
her weigh-in weight would always be like a few pounds under. Like she didn't cut anything for 135. So I could see her going on like a crazy Ronda Rousey type winning streak in the 125-pound division. I like I love Joanna so much. Like I wanted her to take it, but I knew it was Shevchenko's time. Like she worked so hard to get that belt, and like she's beat a lot of great girls over in a way under where she should, or way heavier than where
Yeah.
she should be fighting. And she's got Joanna's number too. Like she's beat
Yeah,
her
yeah.
three times in kickboxing and now
Yeah.
once in MMA. So I don't know. What do you think about Joanna at 125? Do you want to see her stay there, or do
She's
you
way
think
too small.
you want to see her
Way,
back?
yeah, yeah,
She's she's the thing is in 115 she looked great because like she's got the reach and like she's lanky, but she is so tiny and skinny,
yeah.
like she's just like 125 is too big for her. I think if she can get that cut figured out too. She was such a great champion at 115 too. Like she was one fight away from beating Ronda's record for title
Yeah.
defenses, I think. So I'd like to see, like, if Jessica Andrade can get past Rose, I'd like to see Joanna go back down and fight for the title again.
Yeah, I don't
That's why.
know. I'm a
That's
huge
why I was
Rose
super.
fan, but I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Like, she hasn't fought in a while. Doesn't
She's
seem
got.
like she wants to anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. She's got the belt. Like she had this thing with Joanna. Like she's in her prime. She's got some neck issue apparently.
Yeah,
But I mean, she's been out. She's 4 months shy of a year, apparently,
yeah,
and they've stripped people for less. Like Woodley fought 3 months ago, and they're
yeah.
fucking
They made an
Dana just
interim.
talks like
Yeah,
complete shit on him, and like is like, did you hear Woodley call? And the guy just had surgery on his hand. Like
yeah. I think
they
even
just,
besides like Dana stripping or making an interim, like I just feel like this is just a bad sign for Rose. She openly
yeah.
talks about like mental health and like confidence
Mm,
and being motivated, and she just doesn't seem. Because there's one thing if you're hurt and you just kind of stay
yeah.
relevant. Like even Tyron Woodley does that. Like he doesn't fight, but his name is in
He's
everyone's mouth.
everywhere.
Yeah, he's
He does
everywhere.
the TMZ show.
Yeah,
He's in
Rose just kind of
movies.
disappeared, and I just feel like okay, maybe she'll like feel motivated or feel pressured or whatever to come back and fight in January or February. But like, is she gonna be the Rose that fought Joanna on the first time? Like that was a
Yeah,
motivated, aggressive person,
and
and
you
that's
want to
almost 2 years
see
ago now.
these champions no matter what. Like if part of being a champion is like being out there in the
Yeah, you're the
eyes of the
face of the
public.
division. Yeah,
Yeah, even if you, like you said, even if you are hurt, like take some interviews, like talk about what's going on and everything. And I get Rose isn't that type of person, but it comes with the
that's the
territory,
job,
man.
though.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
People
know.
always say that, like, oh, that's not who I am. It's like, yeah, but that's what the job is. Like, I'm sorry. This isn't, Bloodsport or a Bruce Lee movie where the champion just shows up once a year and then
Yeah.
disappears into a shadow. It's like, this is a publicly traded company. This is mainstream as
Hmm.
it gets. It's going on to ESPN. Like, you have to be
Well,
the Super Bowl champion all year round. Like, that's what the job is.
and even if you look back in other sports, like Barry Bonds had to do all those interviews he didn't want to do and was such a dickhead to reporters and
Yeah.
interviews and stuff. Like if you don't want to do it,
Be a
then be
dick.
short in your questions and
Yeah,
be that person.
of
Like
course.
when she was trying to build up and get that title shot, she'd be on Ariel's show all the time, her and
Yeah,
Pat
yeah,
Perry. Like
yeah,
even if she talks a bit and then hands it off to Pat, he's gonna fucking talk a bunch of nonsense.
yeah.
So use your team or something. Like Rose is not in people's mouths right now. Like
No,
nobody's
no
talking
one.
about her,
The
and
division falls off, and
she
we've
has
mentioned.
such potential to be such a great, huge star. And I get like if you don't want to be famous, but like if you take a fight and you lose it and you lose that belt, like people aren't gonna want to
No,
see you back in there fucking fighting for the belt again, even if you are the best girl.
that's the
Like that's
thing.
the
Yeah,
thing with Joanna. Like she's going on what like she won. She lost two to Rose, came back, won one. Now she lost again, but she's still gonna be in people's mouths talking about her because she is a star.
and she's super likable. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
Same thing with like
yeah.
McGregor. Everyone shits on McGregor. Like, why is he like always relevant? And it's because the guy makes himself fucking relevant. Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah,
won a fight in a while now, but that doesn't matter when you have that many fans and people just can like make the excuse for you or whatever. It's like, oh, we want to see him against Cerrone, we want to see him against Diaz. Like people just want to see that guy again. It doesn't matter. And Rose, I think, is
exactly.
missing that point. Yeah, exactly. She's gonna come back. She might lose, and then it's like the Ronda Rousey deal, where like you've spent so long away that you come back and lose, and like no one really cares if you come back again now.
Yeah, she's really putting like all she's putting everything in the fact that like if she wins, she stays champion. Like that's all the stock that she's putting into herself. It's just such a missed opportunity. Like she's like such a great looking girl. She talks well, like she does have that whole mental health thing, and it's like a popular subject right now for people to talk about. She could really
Yeah,
be doing a lot for that community. She's like down to like this fucking earth hippie shit and everything. Like she could
yeah,
really like be building her brand, and like it's, I mean, I get it if you don't want to do it, but like Connor got in shit for not showing up to one press conference. She doesn't show up to any like
no,
promotional events or anything.
nothing.
Like I don't know. It's just it's a shame. Like I even like she okay injury whatever. Go on Ariel's show at least like once a month or something and let everybody know
Anything,
what's
yeah.
going on, or like do a video of if she's hurt, like do like a short video on like her rehabilitation process or whatever, like road back to the championship fight or whatever, like just something to be out there so that we give a fuck when she's headlining this then the card when she finally comes back, because
Yeah.
she's not doing Jessica Andrade any favors if that's who
No.
she's gonna fight next, right?
There is like a part of it though that she's gone and she's mysterious that when the fight gets announced, like there might be like a lot of like, oh shit, Rose is back. Like that might be really
Yeah.
exciting. Maybe.
Yeah.
But also on the other side, like if she is like thinking like I'm not gonna fight forever, I wanna do all that hippie bullshit and plant trees and whatever she said she talks about. Like this is the
Yeah.
time to start building that business and building that name so that you can
She's
transition. Like you can't wait until you lose and then no one cares and then be like, "Oh, by the way, I'm starting this charity and I'm starting a nonprofit." It's like, "Yeah, nobody cares."
yeah. Well, and
Do
like
that now.
Connor's a perfect example. Like I get that there's nobody who is comparable to Connor, but once fucking Connor, if Connor quit tomorrow, people are still gonna be buying Proper 12 whiskey forever. You know,
Yeah.
like it's always gonna be a thing. Like he's using his platform to the fullest, and like and she really could use that outline to a certain extent. She doesn't have to be the bully. She doesn't have to talk shit. Like people like nice people as well. Like there's so much marketability behind
Of
her, and
course.
it's all going to waste right now. Like especially if she loses that belt, then what? Okay, then she's just another girl who's gonna get lost in the 15-pound division. So
And
I
back
don't
to
know.
the card at hand, I feel like that's what makes Joanna Jedrzejczyk look kind of like a bitch right now because Joanna's always talking about the title and Rose and blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and there's no response ever, so it comes off as like, oh, she's always just talking shit. But it's like Joanna's trying to keep the division alive and talk about future shots and like, oh, I'm gonna get this and I'm this and then this. And if there's never a response from the champion, it kind of makes her look like a bitch that's always like whining. But at the
Yeah,
same time, it's like, well, what is she else? She's going to talk about like, oh, I'm going to stay in the top five because that's where I believe. Like, no, if she wants to talk about fighting the champion, and the champion's just MIA for the last year.
that division needs her. Who gives a fuck about any of the other fighters in the 115-pound division other than Rose and Joanna, really?
Yeah,
And for Rose to not like even be trying to help out the weight class, like that's why
yeah,
I'm so bummed Claudia's taken such a slide too, because she could have been someone who marketed it really well. Like when her and Joanna were fighting each other, like that was huge. Like they hated
Huge.
each other. They
Yeah.
really built up the fight. They did a great job with coaching on Tough, and
That was
like,
all Joanna too. Like as much I
yeah,
love Rose. I picked Rose to win those fights, both of them. But that was all Joanna and the Boogie
yeah,
Woman and all that shit. So like I
yeah.
love Rose, but she dropped the ball on being a champion. I hope it goes back
Mhm.
to Joanna just so that there's a fucking division. Because right now 115 is dead. There's nobody there,
Yeah,
and that
but in 125, I can see Shevchenko like really being visible. Like she really wanted this belt, and she
yeah,
worked
yeah.
her fucking ass off to get it, and like her English keeps getting better, and like she's always in the embeddeds, like doing a
She's looking
lot and
good. Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So, and especially like there's not a lot, like really there's not a lot of great fighters in the 125 pounds. So after Joanna goes back down to 115, like she's gonna have to carry that division, and I'm
Yep.
really thinking that like she will be able to, especially like she's not scared to talk shit about people like that Nico chick or whatever, who was just like the worst champion. Like she's a worse champion than Duran to
Durand to
me.
me.
She just like purposely missed weight, and then like was just like fine with getting the title taken away, and
Yeah.
now she like they asked Dana about her recently, and Dana was like, yeah, she still wants some more time off. It's like, okay, so like just fucking retire, because
Yeah,
your
yeah.
30 seconds, not even of fame, is gone. So unless she like somehow goes on a crazy run, but I think that's impossible considering her record based on like going through Tough, and that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. And the lead up to this fight, they just talked about the belt being vacant, and they never mentioned her once.
No, not
Because
at
there's not
all.
like there's all dispute, and she's injured. Like when Ferguson got hurt, like so much of that story was Alaquinta
Yeah.
versus Namajunas, and it's because Ferguson got hurt. But like, there's no mention
Yeah.
of this other
Yeah, it
former.
was
It was
Ferguson
just
got
like a vacant
hurt,
title.
and
It
then
was just vacant title. Shevchenko and Jedrzejczyk, vacant title.
yeah,
Like they have
fucking.
no chance of her coming back.
The fight itself, though, was like a good technical stand-up battle between Joanna and
Yeah,
Valentina. I think that the two of them have a lot of respect for their fighting abilities. That's why we didn't see more like crazy shit like we've seen on the other card. But it's also these
oh,
are
they're
small
high level.
girls
Yeah,
too, right? And like, and you're not gonna see a Santos type knockout when it's hard to follow up what happened earlier in the card too, like especially after the bloody war that just happened. But it was a great
it was
fight.
good. Valentina just looks so much bigger and stronger.
Yeah, just stronger,
Just
like
stronger.
she
Like those
like
takedowns were so vicious. Like that first takedown in the first round, I thought it was over. Like it looked like she knocked
yeah.
all the wind out of Joanna and just like laid on her ground and pounded for a minute. Like, oh, it's done. But Joanna's like fucking good. She's not good on the ground, but like good enough to like get out of it and get back up,
Her
which is
takedown
respect.
defense is amazing
She was
too, and
fucking
like
good. Yeah,
it's very like you don't see her get takedown or taken down 5 times normally like she did against Valentina.
right.
I think honestly, Joanna does fine in that division if she keeps fighting there, which I don't want her to, because I like the 115-pound division needs her.
Needs her so
But
badly.
I also think that like if it's any other girl, I think she can beat any other girl at 125.
Right. Well, that division's even like shallower than
Yeah.
115, so that doesn't say much.
Yeah.
The
All
women
right.
in
You want
MMA is a fucking ongoing topic with us of just like this shallowest divisions. Like there's a top
I
five and nothing
know.
else.
I know.
But
And
they're
a lot
such
of the
exciting
girls
fights
who have,
though. I love it.
yeah.
That fight was so
Yeah.
good.
There, yeah. And then I don't know. Hopefully, some like they got a couple in the works coming up for the 125-pound division, and like hopefully you get some good fights and there's some star power there because like I, there's so much room for those girls to become stars. It's just it's a as much as it is shallow, it's both those divisions are very competitive,
Hmm.
where you're not getting people going on long runs like Joanna was on, or like you're not getting a lot of like these like Max Holloway type like 13, 14 in a row because like it's so evenly matched other than like the top one or two, you know? So I don't know. Hopefully there's some great up and comers and the UFC can somehow fucking start showcasing them a lot better.
Right.
But I mean, like, as much as we rag on the UFC and like how they don't use their promotion to the fullest and everything, it's also like there's too many cards and too many fighters. It's just like you have to have, you know, how much people you would have to pay to make that content. It's like, I mean,
It's but they also get
but
paid every event, so it's not like
yeah,
they're losing business. Like they're still making a profit every show.
yeah. It's just there's so many
There's
people.
so many people.
And that's why they can have a card every week. But like having a card every week doesn't mean that everybody cares. Me and you care. Like me and you are gonna watch them, but like we also have dedicated to making a show about it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
not very many people fucking do that. So you want to go on to the main
Yeah.
event of the evening?
Possible fight of the year.
Holy shit! So I I think we both took Ortega,
Yeah.
even though that like I'm such a Max Holloway fan. I love that he like when he comes to Toronto, he reps it so hard and like he fucking what was he calling it? The 10th
10th
island, and
Island, yeah.
everybody was so fucking stoked. The crowd loved him too. Everybody was chanting his name. Brian Ortega has done a great job like coming up and going from undefeated, and there's a lot of star power behind him, and he's going to be around for a long time. Like what are these guys,
Maybe
25
not though
years
after
old?
that fight though.
As long as he comes back in his next fight,
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
he could be brain dead.
I think he's brain dead.
But holy fuck, man, he like
Yeah, like
and the thing is,
I'm with you. Like I picked Ortega in this fight, but it was no disrespect to Max. Like I fucking love Max Holloway. But it was not
yeah,
coming off like, oh, he missed weight twice. It was like two fights got canceled because of
yeah,
weight cutting. So I just thought like this fight, like I don't think he's gonna make 145, and if he does, he's gonna be so depleted. And
he won a
Ortega's
half a pound under too.
yeah, and Ortega's like on this, roll. But we were both so wrong. The Blessed Express is running hard.
Well, I messaged you earlier that day,
Yeah,
before the fight, and I just like Max looked so confident. Like just from the minute like he stepped on the scale that day, it just
yeah.
like I had just had this feeling that he was gonna win. And I was like, fuck, I wish I never even said anything against him because I was like, there was a look in his eye, and Ortega looked like, oh shit. Oh, like he saw that look in fucking Holloway's eyes because Holloway just came out there so fast, and even the first round, like he just came out there like just guns a blazing.
And Holloway's really big for 145, and it's deceiving
They
because
both are.
he looks yeah, but Ortega looks big.
Yeah,
Holloway, for whatever reason, I just picture him as like a skinny little dude, and then you get in
yeah,
the ring, and he's like, oh, he's actually bigger than Ortega, who looks
yeah,
way thicker.
yeah. If you stand Holloway next to like a lot of guys, he's really like tall,
Yeah,
you know. Um, but Before we get into the fight, actually no, let's get into the fight. Like that was like a stand up duo.
Yep.
And they were trading shots, and Max was just has so much power, and he's so technical yet just like fucking crazy and unorthodox at the same time. Switches stance and looks absolutely incredible on both sides.
Takedown
And
defense. Wow.
nobody in that division has better takedown defense
Nobody.
than him.
Nobody.
Like and that's why when he was lined up to fight Khabib, I was like, this might be the guy who gives Khabib a problem, because he has legit takedown defense, and if you get in that close on him, he's gonna sting you.
Yeah. And
So
Khabib takes a lot of shots too. He's
yeah.
not a very good defensive fighter.
Yeah, no, not at all, because he has to get inside. He
Yeah.
really relies on his chin sometimes. So, and Ortega was doing everything he could to try and take that to the ground, and then he just gave up after a while and just stood there and just took shots. And that third, what was it? The fourth round, he was
Yeah.
just like, all right, just pepper me with shots. I have nothing left except for heart. Like,
He
you got to
tried
give it
to
up to him.
Yeah, he tried to jump guard in the fourth round.
Yeah,
Well, you
he
never
tried
see
to.
that, but
Yeah,
just
well,
desperation moves, yeah.
and the only thing was, I was like, remember what he did to Cub Swanson when
Of
he did
course,
that?
yeah, yeah. Most of his
So it
wins
was
are
like,
behind. Because in the third round, he came, or was it the second? It was the second or the third where it really turned, and Ortega was clipping him,
yeah,
and it was like, holy fuck, he's going to do it again. Because that's what his MO is, kind of like the come from behind.
yeah.
He's just got more heart than brain or whatever it is. He's kind of like, even on this UFC website, got a half dumb look on his face. Like, he's a pretty slow talker.
It takes a lot to fucking. It takes a lot to stay in there taking those shots, but if you're gonna fight like that, your career isn't gonna be a long one.
No.
Like and really, like, he hasn't had that many fights. He's still young, but he's got to figure out how to get out of the way of some of those shots, because your chin keeps getting
No, of
weaker and
course.
weaker after all those shots, especially after a beating like that from one of the best strikers
Well,
in the
like,
whole
look at
UFC.
Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler. Like, that was one
Holy
of the best
tits.
fights of all time, and neither of those guys have been the same since then.
Oh
R-
no, not at all.
Rory's
Yeah.
nose breaks in every fight, and that's what loses him the fight. And Robbie Lawler went from like unstoppable, like Ortega style, like he's just gonna, or Nurmagomedov style, like take a shot to land a shot. And since
Yeah.
then, he hasn't been able to do that. He just take a shot and lose, like, or
Well,
Tyron
and
Woodley beat him and took the
Lawler,
title.
yeah, but that fight, fucking Tyron absolutely annihilated him with that shot
Yeah,
to knock him out. That was such a good fight. That was on a McGregor card, I think, too. It
might have been.
was that, I think it might have been on one of the Nate Diaz cards.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But oh man, what a fucking fight. I just was so excited after it. And man, when are they gonna give Max Holloway that fight in Hawaii? They gotta give it to
He
him.
says next fight, Dana. He says
He
it.
says that after every
Every fight.
single fight.
I wonder what the
And
holdup is. Like, it seems like it's an obvious, easy sellout.
yeah,
They go to goddamn Australia every 2 months. It's like
yeah,
way
they
less
put
than half the distance.
Holloway and Yancy Medeiros on a card in Hawaii. That place is gonna go crazy.
Bring back BJ Penn, my all-time favorite.
Yeah, but put him against some bum that,
Yeah.
like, ah, man, I can't even think about BJ right now. After
Some
it just
bum.
breaks my heart,
Give
man.
him some bum. Bring
Well,
back
yeah, just
like
some
Frank
bum.
Trigg or somebody like that.
Yeah, give him like, or like give him like Clay Guida or something.
Yeah,
Like just
that's a
like
good one.
another guy who's just been around forever, you know?
Give him who's that guy that Connor didn't know his name? Who the fuck is that guy? Who's that?
Oh,
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Stevens.
I don't want to see him versus Jeremy
I think
Stevens.
he could
That
take
guy
Stevens down,
hits like a truck,
but that's
though.
all he's got.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
true.
it's like that one weapon that if you know what the weapon is and you can avoid it.
Who
Like
the fuck is that guy? Max is a great champion too because
oh,
he doesn't talk about, oh, he wants the next money fight or whatever. Like he's one of the guys that I really believe just actually wants to be the best guy.
he's a
Like
legacy fighter. Yeah.
he's never running away from a fight. He like, I mean, I know what happened with that Habib fight, but like he took that fight not looking to be like some crazy double champ. He was like that, like he really just wanted to go out there and show that he could be the guy to take him, you
Yeah,
know?
like the fill in, yeah.
And he's at this point of his career ended, he would be a guy that would be talked about forever. And he's what, 25, 26? He's
Yeah,
younger than Ortega.
he's so much
And
younger.
Ortega is marketed as this like young phenom, right?
Yeah.
And Holloway's already defended his title what, 3 times?
Yeah. And a 13 win streak now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd love to see him go against Connor again and try and get that one back because
I
that's his
don't even
last
I
one.
think it's a landslide. Max has improved so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think Connor can handle it.
but Max takes a lot of shots too, and nobody hits like Connor.
No, but like Connor like lost to Nate Diaz. Like I love Connor, but
Yeah,
I don't believe the hype. Like he is pretty over ranked. Like
Chael goes.
Nate Diaz is
Ch-
not a fucking top 10 fighter. And
yeah, and Connor fought Max when Max was
like
20 years
20,
old.
yeah. And same with Dustin Poirier when Poirier was like a kid. Like I think both
Yeah,
those guys take Connor now.
yeah, but yeah, like I mean, but and Max has fought everybody who he's fought is a real deal. You know,
Oh,
like he's like
Aldo
not
twice,
Aldo twice. He took on Pettis.
Cub
I mean,
Swanson. Yeah, those are
yeah,
all fucking bangers.
he's the same way that Connor went and cleaned out that division. Holloway did the same thing, except for actually defended his title. You know,
Yeah.
so I think Max Holloway is like he'll be one of the biggest stars after this fight, man. 'Cause especially with the whole crowd in Canada chanting for him. I mean, there was 1 second where they like Ortega's a little bit of like fans chanted for him, and Max was like, "What the fuck?" And then they went right back to chanting all the way. So, I mean, we really got spoiled over here in Toronto. I wish I could have made it down to the fights, but I had a good time watching them here.
How sick was the big Hooters logo on the mat?
Dude, that was like one of the first things I noticed. I was like, that's awesome. We were just
Fucking
talking about
Hooters
Hooters
rules.
last episode.
Toronto is a Hooters city.
It so is.
Fucking love it.
I bought a Hooters t-shirt when I was there
Yeah.
one time. In Hooters Hamilton, so you know you're getting the
Oh,
bottom of the
God.
barrel.
That's some rough trade.
Oh man, Hamilton's a fucking shitty place.
Let's
Great.
let's move on to
Yeah,
UFC on Fox coming up. Kevin Lee
Yeah.
versus Ally Quinta 2.
I think we can burn through this one pretty quick.
Yeah. These fights are decent though. We got
No, they're good fights. Yeah.
Jim Miller versus Charles Oliveira, who is a lot like the other Oliveira.
Yeah.
A lot like Alex. He's amazing jiu-jitsu, not the best striker, but like learning. Miller's a fucking Du Bronx against
An
no
A10.
nickname. No
A10.
A10? Okay. I didn't know he had a nickname.
Yeah, Jim Miller is A10.
A10. Okay.
Holy shit, they've both had a lot of fights, eh?
They're experienced. Jim Miller has been around forever.
So who do you want to take in this one?
I think Jim Miller. I think he's a veteran.
I think I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira just for
Okay.
the the nickname that doesn't make sense, Do Bronx.
A10 doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah, these are fucking no. Yeah, A10. Is that a gun? Maybe that's what I thought. But
A10? I don't know.
that's how little. That's how Canadian I am.
Yeah, I have
I don't
no
know
idea.
what gun
I don't
names
know
are.
any gun names.
I don't play Call of Duty or anything, so I don't fucking know.
Okay.
All
Look,
right, so we got Jimmy. I got Oliveira.
we'll
You got
split that
Jimmy
one.
Miller.
Rob Font and
Um,
Sergio Pettis.
I'm excited for this, man. Um, Sergio Pettis is one of the reasons why I want this 125-pound division to stick around because I think he's a good fighter, and I don't think he. I think he's too small for 135. Oh, they're fighting at 135. Fucking never mind.
They're moving up. Well, we'll see what
Duh.
they weigh in at, but I'm with you. I think he's a small. If he weighs in at 132 or 133, it would not shock me.
This is stupid though. They have the ranking. Their ranking still set at 125, even though they're fighting at 135.
Yeah. I've honestly never heard of Rob Font, so I'm
No, we gotta
surprised he's
go with
even
Pettis.
11th ranked in 125 is like 15th ranked in the strawweight division for women. Like there's nobody there. There's no one in that division. It means nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. I think we got to go with Pettis on this one, especially because he's fighting in it's in Milwaukee,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's his home base.
Hometown. I
So
love Duke Rufus, so I gotta go with
yeah,
Pettis.
yeah, those boys are a lot of good guys coming out of that camp.
Tyron Woodley's there too now, isn't he? He has
Yeah,
been for
and
a while.
fucking
It's fucking
CM Punk.
your
Come
boy
on,
CM
dude.
Punk.
Fuck CM
Fuck
Punk.
CM Punk. What do you
I
think of?
want to see. Oh, there was someone recently I wanted CM Punk to fight. Oh, one of those YouTubers,
Okay.
like who are in boxing matches. Because
Yeah, yeah.
actually, I don't even want to get into that. Those
No, it's
kids
just
are
fucking
douchebags.
nonsense.
This is a good one though. Dan Hooker, Edson Barboza.
Dan the Hangman Hooker.
Oh, that's a dope
That's so
nickname.
sick.
Remember playing Hangman like on the board in school, like in
Yeah.
chalk?
Yeah.
I don't know if hanging a person by words is like such a great game for kids nowadays, but
Nothing's allowed in 2018. There's no way.
fucking nothing, dude. Like
Nothing.
except for ripping on Chris Weidman,
Man.
nothing is cool.
How about Chris Weidman throwing his kid under the bus for his recent injury? What a
And
shitty dad.
was that in his interview with Ariel?
Yeah. He said that his
And
kid was like hanging off his neck too much and now he has a neck
yeah,
problem and
yeah, I
fucking
gave you some
trash
good
dad.
commentary on
Oh
that.
man, I was laughing hard.
I sent you a second video too, and I don't think it ever went
No, it
through.
never went through, but the first one was fucking golden.
The second one was so much more ruthless too.
Fucking trash dad Weidman.
New Zealand, I always like guys out of New Zealand, but I think Edson's taking this one. Like he's due a win, and
He's due a win. Well, they're both coming off wins. Edson's got some
yeah,
sick fucking abs. I'll give him that. But the Hangman's a good nickname.
yeah. I don't know about their fatherhood ability, but
Yeah, I don't know
or
about either's fatherhood, but it gives us a callback to Max Holloway. What a dad.
oh, Dad of the Year. I
Yeah,
can't believe we didn't even mention
I
that. Like
totally
his
forgot.
kid was just as much of that build up
Yeah,
and post
And the
everything. He was in every shot with them.
Yeah, celebrating just like his dad too, looking so fucking cool. Like it's one thing to be like a cool like a kid and just get the belt thrown on you, but this kid's
Yeah,
like posing and squinting and raising eyebrows. Like he's definitely blessed.
and we gotta give a shout out to Holloway's fucking style these days. Like he used to dress like such a knob, and now he's
Yeah,
like actually kind of like
he's
looking cool. I don't know if he got a stylist, but like remember those like
yeah
plastic
the
ties
plastic
he used
tie.
to wear?
Yeah, yeah,
It was just like, oh man, come on, buddy.
yeah.
But like when he had that, he had like a full Raptors OVO kit on and like some sweet Jordans on in a picture. He looked pretty good. So
I saw
fucking
some screen grabs of him on Twitter the other day. Monday or Tuesday, he was in the Raptors game, like after the fight, like the next night. I guess it was
yeah,
Sunday night. Full Raptors gear, just chilling in the crowd. Like
he
what a
went to three
people's
Raptors
champion.
game while he was here.
People's champion.
And he made friends with what is it? Is it Kyle Lowry or I should know this,
I
but
don't know
like
any
the
basketball
the
players.
like star player on the Raptors he made buddies with. So
Damon Stoudemire or
I
Vince
just love
Carter.
how all Holloway wants to do is fight somewhere warm, and it's
They
always in the
always in
winter in
Canada.
Canada or Detroit.
Such bullshit.
But all right. So what do you got? The Hangman,
I like the
Reds,
Hangman.
and
Hangman by nickname and his like 1/4 abs.
I'm going with Barboza by head
Barboza.
kick,
Oof.
first round.
Spinning or straight?
Just a straight like question mark kick.
All right. Beautiful. And that brings us to the main event.
This is a great fight. I
Motown
rewatched
Phenom.
their first fight today. Yeah, versus Raging Al.
Yeah.
Raging Al is a
Raging's
fucking
good
sick name.
name.
So their first fight was Kevin Lee's first fight in the UFC. They look so young in that fight. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, the old shorts when you could actually have sponsors and stuff, and I love how everybody's shortening up their shorts these days.
Well,
Like, there's no more of those like long board shorts that you can't move in.
I was looking at one of the photos today. I think it was this one, Ale Quinta. He looks like such a fucking jobber wearing board shorts. Like it's such a
Yeah,
like 2003 look, just like pants to your knees. Like how do you even kick in those things? It makes no sense.
yeah. I was watching an interview with John Jones when he wasn't an interview. It was like an embedded, but like you know how they like show them going to grab their equipment
Yeah.
sometimes and like trying it on. He was like, "Oh, these are great. I can move in these." He's like, "My very first fight, I had board shorts on that were like from like Walmart or
Yeah.
whatever, and he couldn't even move his leg. He couldn't kick in them because
Yeah.
they were like they had no give to them." So this is such a fucking great matchup, these two. And Kevin Lee's gonna want to avenge that loss against Aquinta. And they don't like each other either.
No, 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 no. Kevin Lee's really good at shit talk too. Like we saw that. Like
Yeah.
his, jump claim to fame, I guess, was calling out GS's mom or whatever he did at that conference like 2
He
years
barely
ago.
said anything. He was just like, "I hope your mom's got tickets." It wasn't like
It
like you
wasn't
like you
vicious, no.
yeah, it wasn't like your mom's got a fucking mullet just like you bitch. It
Yeah.
was just like all he did was like mention that she had tickets, and then Kiesa just like had the biggest hissy fit ever, like the biggest hold me back moment.
Yeah, Kiss is a jobber.
Yeah, and he's taken that whole accidentally getting hit in the face by a dolly thing way too far.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, buddy, we get it.
we get
No
it.
need for lawsuits.
Nothing even happened to you. Ray Borg got the glass in the eye.
Yeah,
He had like
fuck.
some glass on his forehead, and he's like, "Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding?" Like we all seen the video. Yeah, fucking
What happened?
narbo.
What
The
happened?
dolly
It's
accidentally
like,
flew up and hit the glass. What happened?
dude, there's no way that like all those UFC fighters couldn't get off the bus and have a sweet brawl too.
Yeah. Who's
Like
keeping them
fuck.
on there? Nobody.
Aquinta was on that bus too, and he was so awesome. He was just smiling, taking videos. Like, I'm a big Raging Al fan.
He's a cool
He
guy.
destroys hotel rooms.
He's definitely my favorite in the Sarah Luongo camp.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about Chris Weidman being such a huge fan of Raging Al? Does that bring down any points for you, or is that just guilty by association?
I think it's totally unrelated. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Sarah Luongo, as much as I love Sarah, like they are
Mhm.
a C, maybe a B level gym, and that's
Yeah.
perfect for Ali Quinta. Like he's a top five
Yeah.
guy, but Weidman thinks he's number one, and if he wants to be number one, he's got to move on from there. Like they're too
Yeah.
Bush League, but he's staying there out of loyalty or something, and it's like, wait, Matt Serra's your fucking trainer? Like Matt Serra's fucking,
Yeah.
he's cool. I love him. I love when he beat GSP, but like that's your main trainer? Like he's teaching you
Yeah.
striking? Like what?
No, it's the big guy who's the striking coach.
Even worse. Who is that guy?
Longa?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. New
Like
York accents are fucking sick, though. You
he's
just sound like a
awesome for
complete
like
maniac.
you walk off the street and you want to learn some MMA, like that's awesome. But
Yeah.
like, okay, like what about like Matt Hume or Duke Rufus or
Yeah.
insert actual striking champion to take you to that next level.
Raging Al has like probably done the best out of anybody against Habib
Yeah, he looked
on
good.
20 hours notice. But Habib was also like I don't know if he was totally taking that seriously. Like
No,
there was rounds where he was making it a stand up battle where like he could have just taken him down, wrestle fucked him, and ground and pound him.
even when he was
So
wrestle fucking him, he didn't look like he wanted to finish. It was just like I'm gonna hold him here and hit shots, and then like this title's mine. I'm not gonna fuck up this losing the belt. Like I'm gonna win this fight.
yeah,
Doing just enough to keep him there.
I think, but Raging Al has some serious knockout power, and he's had some great knockouts. But that being said, Kevin Lee is a lot different fighter than the last time they fought. He's a lot bigger too,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Like he,
I can't see him
I,
at this division much longer. That
he's
165's
gonna
got to
have a
open up.
hard time fucking making weight.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, if he does make weight, I think I'm gonna have to take Kevin Lee in this fight. Um, but I'm rooting for Raging Al.
I'm going Kevin Lee for sure. I think he's so fucking cool. He's got
Yeah,
abs so strong. His innie has become an outie, and
yeah.
I think I don't see him winning the title at 155. But as soon as that
He's an alien.
165 opens up, that's his. That's his
Do you
belt.
remember when you were a kid and if someone had an Audi, you would say they're an alien?
No, I never
That
said
was
that.
like a big thing in
Yeah.
Glen Williams Public School when I went. Like, if someone had an Audi, like, it would just be this huge thing.
It's a
Like,
big
he's
deal.
an alien.
It's a big deal for sure.
Yeah, Audis are weird.
Because you never see it, and then when your friend reveals they have an Audi, you're just disgusted.
Yeah, you're like, what's going on?
Yeah. I remember
But
being
I
like
also
old
have a
enough.
mangled up belly button from all the surgeries I've had. So, like,
Yeah,
I
but you
can't
didn't
really
have to go
talk
through that
about.
in elementary school. That's
No,
different.
I had a great
It's
button in
fine back then.
elementary school.
I remember though, like being in elementary school and like when you notice that someone's left-handed, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like in my class, there's like this kid Trevor. It's like Trevor's left-handed. What
They
is
had
that? Like
to
this guy
they had
can't
to
even. He
use
has to wear
different
scissors.
scissors.
Yeah, he's got scissors on upside down. Like what the fuck? And that
See,
was like a
I
big deal. And then it's like, in the summertime, you all go to the swimming hole together, and it's like, what? Like Josh has an
the
Audi? That's even fucking
swimming hole.
worse. Gonna go to the
swimming
fucking
hole.
river. Gonna
That's
swim.
so funny.
Go to the
Really
creek.
showing your age.
We're gonna go to the creek and catch some crawfish. With fucking Josh
Dude,
as an
I
Audi
used to crayfish hunt a lot
in
in
Cedarville.
Cedarville.
Yeah, there's fucking monsters in there.
Yeah, fuck, man. I found, I swear to God, I'm not even joking, a lobster down there,
I seen one.
but you could actually, like, thinking back on it, like, someone just threw a lobster in there
No,
because it was
no,
like a
I've
pretty
seen a
dirty
giant one
river.
too. No, I'm with you. I remember
In
seeing one,
Cedarville?
yeah, in Cedarville, and it was maybe
Okay.
like 6 or 7 inches long, and we caught it, and it was like soft shell. It was like, what the
Oh.
fuck is this? Because all the crayfish are
Yeah,
like
and
tiny, like you can just like catch them super easy. And then there's this like fucking
yeah.
lobster, and it's so scary, and no one wanted to grab it. And then I don't know if I grabbed it or I talked the other guy into it, but there's a bunch of us all
Yeah.
egging it on. Like we have to get this. We made like a, a dam of legs around it. Like someone's picking this fucking thing up. And
Yeah.
they grabbed it and it was like soft and it was like, what is this thing? Like a giant soft crayfish.
First time I ever met my buddy Glenn, who's like still a friend to this day.
Yeah.
Me and this guy Trevor, whose mom babysitted me, and we just like me and him used to just like ride bikes and like just like do our own thing every day. But we'd go down to Cedarville like and just hunt crayfish every day. And then one day, like it was the first time ever meeting Glenn, we went down there and we were like playing in the river, and Glenn got a fucking leech on his leg and he fucking was freaking out and we were just like, just swipe it off, and he started crying and shit and we just were like laughing our heads off and he went home crying
With
and
the leech still
fucking
on him.
no, he finally got it off, but he was like dancing around like an idiot trying to get it off and we were just laughing so hard and he was like, you guys are dicks, like went home crying. And then like later on, that it might have actually been that same day, there's like a little like gross swamp waterfall there and
Yeah.
like we were playing on it and he pushed me down it, and for years later I was so mad at him for doing it, like that we used to play not Scrabble, checkers on MSN, and like every time I would beat him, but like on the last move he would like leave the game so my
Nice.
record wouldn't move up. So I got so mad at him and stopped talking to him. I wouldn't be his friend anymore. This is in high school.
Yeah.
And I was so petty. I was just like, fuck you, man. I'm the king of checkers. Like, you fucking ruining my record. And like I wouldn't talk to him for a week, and he always denied pushing me down that waterfall. And then he sent me an email admitting that he pushed me down that waterfall, and I printed it off, and I still have that somewhere to always like be like, I told you guys he did this. He always denied it. Fucking prick.
Still friends to this day.
Still friends to this day. He plays on my slow pitch team. And he puts the slow pitch. Shout out Glenn, buddy. Yeah, so I don't know. Decent card. I mean, this seems like one of those cards that we're gonna watch, and it's like it's just gonna be a surprising amount of just crazy knockouts and stuff. It's
The
always
only
these.
Yeah, I feel like
Uh,
that first fight with Jim Miller and Oliveira is going to be sick. Rob Font, I don't know
yeah,
who that is, so that's a question mark. But Pettis is cool. He's not his brother, but he's still cool. He might actually be
yeah,
like more exciting than his brother these days. But
yeah.
Edson Barboza, that's going to be a good fight. And Kevin Lee and Alaquinta, like that main event is solid.
We got also. We got. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got a Trevor Smith who has the greatest nickname, Hot Sauce, which is, and Zach Cummings, spelled with a U. Cummings spelled with a U.
I see
So
neither of those people on my UFC website. I'll trust you.
it's the fight right before Miller Oliveira.
Mine's like Zach Otto and Dwight Grant. But I'm using UFC.UK, so maybe it's a little different.
Oh shit,
Anyway,
I don't have that fight on there. But Cummings with a U, respect, and hot sauce I
Hot
like
Sauce is a
too.
good nickname.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, I'm excited, man. We got a
Hell
lot.
yeah.
I like that we've got a show to go off of every week so far, and I think we talked about it before the show. So all you fans out there who might be working and stuff, we're in the new year. We might switch to some audio platforms so that you can listen while you're driving your forklift or working at your desk or whatever you do. And we'll set up some social media so people know about it. I've just been a bit hesitant to put this show out there a bit because I sound like a complete fucking dumbass, but
Yeah.
I'm just coming to terms with the fact that this is how my voice sounds. So whatever.
Whatever.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. We're growing slowly. New Year is going to be big for this show.
Yeah, so what's the deal with Romania? I know you love it there, so are you sticking around or
I'm here for
what?
one more week,
And
and then I'm
then
going to Ireland.
oh yeah, I remember you
Yeah, I'm gonna
saying
go to
that.
Ireland for like the holidays and shit, and then Canada in January. Slowly making my way
Oh
back.
shit. Well, we'll do a lot of shit in January then for our fans.
We'll definitely have some
All
like
8 of you.
Shepherd's Crook meetings,
Oh yeah.
some
I
business
went
meetings.
to
Maybe
the
record
George
live from the George. Just
Oh,
set up
that'd be
some computers in the
so
back.
funny. Just like a bunch of white trash people getting wasted and a band playing like covers way too loud with like 3 cougars dancing up there. And like whenever you walk by, they're giving you the eye like you're going to come
Yeah.
dance with them. And it's like, maybe in a past life, I'm not
Yeah.
really going to do
Maybe 10 years from now.
maybe 10 years ago.
All right.
Anything else you want to add?
No, let's wrap this up. Pretty Much Experts is my other podcast, and we have new episodes every Thursday on iTunes and Friday on YouTube. And
Yeah,
that's it.
awesome. And Tegan Sports,
Woo!
we're got a lot of big things coming, so keep your eye out for that. And dude, I want another big boxing match. That shit was so fun to talk about. I
It was
can't wait.
awesome. It's
I
awesome.
cannot wait. So
The new year's
we'll
big for us. 2018 is
yeah.
wrapping up and then starting big in 19.
Yeah, and I can't. We're gonna do a recap show too,
Of course.
and talk about some of our favorite fights, who we think fighter of the year should be, best dad
Best
countdown,
dad,
maybe
abs
top
of the
5
year.
countdown, abs of the year.
Yep.
We're gonna put together a whole bonus episode for you guys. That's just complete debauchery, just complete
Re-release the
fucking
first
nonsense.
episode pretty much.
All right. Well, this has been a fun one, a bit less off the rails as our usual
We had a
podcast. But come
lot
on,
to power through this week. Yeah. A lot of
yeah,
fights.
it's Monday, guys, and we really gave you some fighting talk this
Legit
week
fight talk
instead
this
of
week.
some goon sack, the usual goon sack makeout game type content.
Yeah,
So
we'll get to some
don't
more
worry, we'll be back
debauchery
with that
next
shit
week.
next week.
Yeah. After Kevin
And
Lee's big win.
and last week we forgot to say anything about Luke Rockhold, so I just want to give a big fuck you to Luke Rockhold. You
Is he
piece of
even
shit.
in the UFC anymore?
No, man, that guy's fucking.
He's been
I
wearing
don't
his
know.
own Cosby sweater so much he's just sleeping on himself.
Oh man, that guy's just he's producing quaaludes somewhere.
He lays them like eggs.
Yeah, so if you hear about Quaaludes coming back out on the market, you know who's doing it. It's Luke Rockhold.
Before we
And
get
that's,
into 2019, I know we still got a few more weeks, but
yeah.
what are the odds we see Michael Bisping and Luke Rockhold in 19?
Um,
I think it's
Luke
possible.
Rockhold was saying recently that he could beat someone. He wants style bender by the sounds of it.
Why?
I don't know. He was just like, I can beat that guy. I heard him talking about it the other day. He
Yeah.
was just like, I don't know. Everybody seems to think like this Anderson fight isn't a good idea type thing. Like it's just like, oh, if he wins, he beats like an old Anderson Silva. Who cares? And if he or if he loses, then it's like, oh, that kind of fucks his shit up. But I think it's a great fight to make.
I think especially for the this is an episode, maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the road, and we'll get into it
Yeah.
deeper then. But it's a big fight for the casual fans. Like nobody knows who
Yeah.
Stylebender is. Everybody knows who Anderson Silva is. Even if you're not
Yeah.
totally aware of oh, Anderson Silva's not the champion anymore, and maybe there's some alleged accidental steroid use. Like average
Someone
people don't
slipped him
fucking
something.
know that. So to
Yeah.
have a win over Anderson Silva is a huge fucking deal. Like,
Yeah, and
whatever.
Anderson's still in shape,
He's
man.
so
He's gonna
sick.
come out there. He's
Yeah.
game. So, I mean,
It'll be a good
anybody
fight.
like talking shit on that fight. But did you hear that? Like, I think that the UFC's so sure that Stylebender's gonna win, which like you can never count Anderson
No,
Silva out.
never.
They've promised Anderson Silva a title shot if he wins,
Yeah.
which would be fucking sick. That'd be the craziest curveball in that division.
Because he's legit still. It's not like
Yeah,
he's not Chuck Liddell. He can
he's
still
still
take a.
fighting once a year, really.
Yeah. When he's not
So
suspended for accidentally taking drugs, he's
yeah, well, fucking
contending.
yeah. I mean, Luke Rockhold tried to slip him something, and then
Yeah.
he fucking tests, and
The classic
uh,
Rockhold slipping something in a drink move, and he just
yeah,
accidentally got Anderson.
and then I accidentally made out with Chris Weidman when Chris Weidman was passed out at a party,
Blamed it on Rockhold, or blamed it on Romero.
and that's our show.
That's our show. We'll be back next week. We're
All
dudes
right,
on dudes. Thanks for listening.
love you guys later.
What a stupid fucking